Hello and welcome back to the Pink Floyd album ranking saga. Alright, we're on number 6 now. We're getting close to the home stretch. And this is where we start to go from the, 15 through 7 that are good albums. Like, I love them. They're great. Top 6, 5. Alright, here are the, I'm gonna super fan the heck out of these albums. Starting off with none other than, I probably should have grabbed it and had it facing the right way, Atom Heart Mother. What an album. This is the first in the... This is an interesting little thought-ish that I have. This is one of 3 albums in the trio of Pink Floyd albums that all have something in common. This album, Metal, and Wish You Were Here are 3 albums that I consider sort of a trio. And the reason is because all 3 of those albums have 5 tracks. Sorry, Metal has 6. Wait, Wish You Were Here has 5, technically. Yeah, Metal has 6. Don't listen to me, apparently, because I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, they all have 5 to 6 songs. They all have 3 to 4 songs. 3 to 4 to 5. Dang it, man. It's 3, 4, and 5, now that I think about it. That are, normaler songs, more normal songs, and then they have one song that is just a long, massive song. Atom Heart Mother Sweet on here, Echoes, of course, on Metal, and Wish You Were Here on, Shine On Wish You Were Here, which is split into 2. But anyway, I consider that a great trio. It's a beautiful trio. I love all 3 of those albums, and I had a very hard time deciding placement, but I think I found it. So, this is Pink Floyd's 5th album, came out in 1970, so it's an older one. As you can see by the cover, it is very exquisite. It features a cow. Actually, it features 4. This cow does have a name. The name was, hold on, Lulu Bell. That's what it was. It was Lulu Bell. That is the name of the cow. Now, you might be wondering, why in the heck does Pink Floyd have a cow or 3 on their album? Well, the reason is because, and this album is a change in a lot of ways from Pink Floyd, design and cover-wise. This is the first Pink Floyd album that did not feature the members on it or the name Pink Floyd. If you think about it, Piper had their faces on it. Saucerful technically had them on it and Pink Floyd, although I guess Piper did too. Moore had the Pink Floyd name, and Ummagumma had the members and the name. This album has neither. And it is the first album all the way up until A Momentary Lapse of Reason that does not feature the name Pink Floyd on it on the cover. Granted, some of them say it on the back. And it is the first of any of the rest of them that does not feature the members, because from Ummagumma on, members are not seen. So, came out in 1970, and this album marked a drastic change in Pink Floyd, okay? Syd Barrett's influence is completely gone now. We've taken what we built off of on Ummagumma, and we're now expanding it. And we're going to expand it to create the longest, most epic suite of a song that we can create, which is, of course, how the title track, Atom Heart Mother, got its name. Side 1 of this album is a 23-minute long experience that I don't even know how to explain it. If you've never listened to Atom Heart Mother, the song, stop and listen to it. Listen to all 23 minutes of it. It will leave your jaw dropped. The only Pink Floyd song that's even comparable to this is Echoes, in a way, which is ironically a similar length. And that is a great debate, Echoes or Atom Heart Mother. I don't know if I could pick because they're kind of different. It's hard. Sometimes I want to listen to this, sometimes I want to listen to Echoes. But yeah, so the entire side 1 of this album is the beautiful, the amazing, the moving Atom Heart Mother. Complete instrumental as well. There are no lyrics in it except for... There's actually two lyrics. One of them is about, this is where we're going to have problems. 15 or 16 minutes into the song, I want to say. You have a literal voice saying, "Here is a loud announcement." That's it. And then around the 18-ish, 18 and a half minute section, you have Nick Mason's distorted voice saying, "Silence in the studio." Now, the thing is, this song does have some parts to it, so I will tell you the parts. The song has 6 parts. Part 1 is Father Shout, then you have Breast Milky, Mother 4, Funky Dung, Mind Your Throats Please, and Reemergence. Quite the names, I must say. And it is a marked difference in them. You know, especially, now, if I had to pick a favorite, I think by far my favorite part of the song easily is Funky Dung, which is about 10 minutes in, is the bluesy, slow rock jam that is quintessential bluesy Pink Floyd. I could listen to that on repeat. Of course, that flows into Mind Your Throats Please, which is the noise portion of the song, which is honestly kind of freaky. Not as freaky as Echo's noise section, but it's freaky. And then, of course, you have Reemergence, which this song also takes advantage of Pink Floyd starting to mess around with sound effects, because this is where Pink Floyd is messing around with all of the sound effects in Sony or whatever, Abbey Road, whatever's library, which is how Dark Side had so many sound effects, because they're just messing around with them. So that's side 1. I forgot to mention the inside of the album. Yeah, not exactly much to see there. The song Atom Heart Mother was written by all 4 of them and Ron Geeson. One of the more interesting things about that song is it's also the first time Pink Floyd utilized an orchestra, which, ironically enough, Pink Floyd actually doesn't care for this album. This is one of their not, so favorite albums. They straight up say, Atom Heart Mother's not a great album, the song is not great. I disagree, I think it's phenomenal. Orchestra arrangement that Pink Floyd didn't quite have control over, so that might be why. But they all wrote it. So then, on side 2, you have 4 songs, 3 short ones and 1 long one that we're going to talk about. But what's cool about this album is you almost have a repeat of Ummagumma, because you have 3 songs, the first 3, and all 3 of them are written by the 3 members of the band minus Nick Mason. Track 1 is If, which is Roger Waters' song. Beautiful song, and really just, really centers your attention back in after the experience of Atom Heart Mother. It also reminds me a lot of Grantchester Meadows, which I think is exactly why I like If, and Grantchester Meadows for that matter, so much, because it reminds me of If, vice versa. Track 2 is Summer 68, which is Rick Wright's. Honestly, as much as I love the song, I think I like If more. Not a huge fan of Summer 68, but it's great nonetheless. And of course, the third song is Fat Old Son, which is David Gilmour's contribution. Started out as Sing to Me, I believe, early on in the early live stuff. Again, beautiful song. I'm kind of indifferent on Fat Old Son and Summer 68. They're both great, but I'm going to listen to If. I really am. But, they're both great. If I had to pick favorites on that side, If would be 1. I guess Fat Old Son would be 2. Summer 68 would be 3, but it's not bad. Track 4 is the infamous track known as Alan's Psychedelic Breakfast. It is a 3-part song that's about 13 minutes long. Part 1 is Rise and Shine. Part 2 is Sunny Side Up. Part 3 is Morning Glory. This is a controversial song because it is essentially... I don't even know how to explain it. Think literally the title, Alan's Psychedelic Breakfast, and whatever you're thinking is probably what comes to mind. But you know what? I love it. I don't care what anyone says. Alan's Psychedelic Breakfast is a masterpiece. Frickin' chewing cereal and all, pouring milk and all, washing your hands and leaving the room and all sound effects. Marmalade. I like Marmalade. All of it. Freaking masterpiece that song is, because the music offsets the weird moments where you hear chewing. Honestly, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, go listen to it. It's a freaky song, but it's so good. So good. This album as a whole, not as much Atom Heart Mother because the song is so different, but the other songs really lock in that late 60s bluesy sound. But okay, we're starting to mix in a little more with the experimental. So that's it. That's the album. Why do I have it so high up? Because it's good. I mean, I don't know a single person that doesn't like this album. Oh, we have to talk about the cover. So the reason why the cover is a cow, there is a reason, is because Pink Floyd, after releasing Amalgama especially, and A Saucer Full of Secrets, had gotten coined with the term space rock, and they didn't really care for the constraints of, oh, we're space rock, whatever. So when they went to design the cover, what was the company called that designed all their covers? I can't remember it. Hypnosis, I think. They designed a lot of Pink Floyd's covers. But anyway, the idea was, okay, we don't really like the term space rock. Let's make something that is as little space rocky as possible, as far away from space rock as we possibly can. The solution to that? To drive out into the country and take a picture of the first cow that they see. And that is how you have the cover of this album. I'm not kidding. That is how it was created. And on the back, you have a couple more. But that is why the cover is a cow. Because they wanted to get away from the space rock term. But there is Lulu Bell, the cow. So, I don't have any negatives for this album. It's really hard. This is where we start to get into the albums where I really don't have much negative to say about them. There's no filler. There's no moments where I'm like, man, I wish this would go on. This album is just a 10 out of 10 in every way. The only album that I think is really comparable to this is Metal, which obviously we're going to talk about. And in a way, it makes sense that Metal came directly after this because it's very similar. Then, of course, we take a break for Obscured by Clouds and Dark Side. Okay, now we've got a slightly different sound going on. Back to Wish You Were Here with this sound. So, a beautiful album. It's a really long album. It's like 52 minutes in length. I think it's actually, aside from The Wall, The Endless River, and Amalgama, I think this might be the longest studio album. It's definitely the longest single album because it's not a double, I don't think. Or it's not a double, but I mean lengthwise. So, yeah, this album marked a lot of change for Pink Floyd in a lot of different ways, and my God, did they hit it out of the water. If you really want to hear a trip, you can find early recordings of Atom Heart Mother live. Go watch those. It's unbelievable. I really think that the magic Pink Floyd had performing live, because here's the thing. Pink Floyd always has magic performing live, but here's the thing. After The Dark Side came out, you don't have the same magic because The Dark Side was so different and it's a concept and, we're performing it as a set. Whereas back in 68, 69, 70, they're playing, you're going to hear Atom Heart Mother, Green is the Color, Cymbeline, Interstellar Overdrive, Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun, Careful with That Axe, more songs from Saucerful, Let There Be More Light. I don't know if they ever did that one live. Corporal Clegg and all that, Saucer Full of Secrets. That was the magic era of Pink Floyd, where you have these insane performances that are crazy to watch. One of my all-time favorites still is watching performances of Careful with That Axe. That is unbelievable watching that. And of course you capture it on Amalgama, which is exactly why I love the live part of Amalgama so much, because it captures that time really well. And of course you hear Astronomy Domine, which is awesome. So I don't really have much else to say other than that this album is a freaking masterpiece. It is phenomenal and it deserves way more recognition than it gets. I'm probably going to say that about the next 5 albums too, but whatever. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I think I'm going to call it for this one, but in conclusion, number 6, Atom Heart Mother, a freaking masterpiece of an album to listen to, and if you've never listened to it, go listen to it. It is a landmark album in a lot of ways for Pink Floyd. So that's going to be it. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe, like, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.